Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. So fire signs, this is a reading for you and your inner child. I was talking for a whole 15 minutes and did not realize that the camera was actually on time lapse and not regular video. So all of that has been lost. I absolutely hate redoing things or even talking over a reading that I've already channeled or delivered, because when I'm in that flow, like that's the message. The flow is the message. So to go over it, it often feels quite static. But I'm going to go over it for you, and I hope you all receive the message as intended. All right, so this is for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius regarding your inner child. I spoke about how it's so important to look at your inner child, to heal your inner child, because that's where we become stuck. Like oftentimes a lot of our traumas and a lot of when we become shattered in some way, it happened as a child. It happened in our developing years. And as we grow, if we don't deal with that trauma, if we don't deal with how we've been shattered as in some way, we then repeat those same cycles throughout life. And that's oftentimes the lesson. That's where the healing is to be focused. So I hope that this message really, y'all receive the message. As always, I called upon the Most High and I called upon my spirit guides to assist me in delivering the message to you. And as always, may all messages be for the highest good of all involved, with harm to none. Ashe, amen, so it is. So y'all's first card was the Five of Wands. All right. You had the Six of Cups, it came out reverse, and the King of Wands, and it came out reverse. Now, I found that really interesting that I'm talking to fire and all this fire is coming out, and the Six of Cups is connected to children. It's connected to children, and it came out reverse, and we're talking about healing the inner child. All right. So that was exciting for me. Well, not exciting, but it all correlates. So your supporting card is the King of Pentacles. This was at the top of the deck. At the heart of the matter was the King of Swords. Y'all see all these kings, all this masculine energy, and the High Priestess was at the bottom. Now, for me, with all of this masculine energy in this reading, it makes me think about, and then the High Priestess shows up. It makes me think that a massive part of y'all's healing, a massive part of y'all's story, or the message for you, is that sometimes you need to flow. Sometimes you need to sit back and observe, as opposed to taking action on things. With this Five of Wands, it makes me feel like there's some kind of, especially when it comes to authority, y'all ready to fight, y'all ready to spar, y'all ready to battle, even if it's just a verbal battle. And in doing so, it might be counterproductive to what it is you're trying to attain or achieve, because people automatically shut down. People automatically judge you. Oh, there's Aries or Leo Sagittarius being them again, as opposed to the message being delivered. Even though you might have all the rights to say what you're saying, all the rights, it's like you're in the right, but because of how it's done, it's counterproductive. It feels like I feel like y'all, especially when it comes to authority, especially when it comes to maybe jobs, bosses, employers, this is where it feels as if it really kicks in. Then it's like whatever happened to your inner child, it's connected. It breached y'all's sense of security and stability. It undermined your sense of agency and your sense of possession, like what's yours, and having the right to stake claim on certain things that are yours, whether that's your body, your mind, your thoughts, your power, your materials, whatever that is. I want you to not feel as if as soon as the situation happens that reminds you, and you know what? It's all well and good for me to say that, because many times we react subconsciously. That's the inner child. It's a subconscious. It needs soothing and it needs taking care of. It's an instinctual behavior. So as soon as you're triggered, your sword goes up. And that might be your tongue. You might then start to like but I feel like with your King of Wands, the King of Wands is a leader, and with it reversed, it's just displaced fire. It's just displaced passion, displaced energy. And with the High Priestess underneath this King of Wands, I feel like, again, you're being reminded, or you're being told right now, you know what you know. Your spirit knows what your spirit knows. So it's time to look beyond what you're being shown in your situation and look deeper, because you might actually get more information. You might actually get more proof of your situation by observing as opposed to pushing. And also your intuition, the High Priestess is here showing you, hang on, you feel like this. Why do you feel like this? What's making you feel like this? Why do you feel like this? Why do you want to fight? Why do you feel so passionate about this? What's stirring this? What's the message that's stirring you up? What's the spark? Is it, I shouldn't be here anymore? I'm not being appreciated in this place anymore? I'm being disrespected in this place? Whatever is being said or done does not sit well with my spirit. It's not just random that you feel fired up. So don't let money determine your value or determine how much you put up with in situations. All right, so your word of advice was the Six of Wands. Rise above it. You see, from the Five of Wands, the first energy, to the Six, rise above it. Right? Know that you are recognized. You will be recognized. Wherever you are not recognized now, it's because you're not aligned with this energy or this place or this situation or this person. And the people that you really do, the people who really see you and are aligned with your prayers and what you've been calling in, will show up to support you. Maybe your inner child needs the attention. Some of us grew up in situations. Some people grew up in households where they did not feel as if they were seen, they were heard, they were understood. They did not get, well done, congratulations, I'm proud of you. Is that what your inner child needs to hear? So how are you going to align yourself with those kind of situations? It has to start with you first. Because another thing is with the inner child is that we will subconsciously put ourselves in situations that align with the things that hurt us, because that's what we know as normal, and as a way to justify our feelings. Right? I hope that makes sense. So you subconsciously put yourself in situations where the same things keep repeating. So you go, no, there's a recognition happening here, or this is what you need to go towards. I feel like there's some kind of, if this is connected to career, job, talent, something, some gift, a gift, or just well done, or just I love you, that's what's coming. There's a celebration happening here. The second card for your word of advice is the Three of Cups. Your pairs, your groups, like there's someone, there's a plug and a socket for everyone. There's groups of people that will see you, support you, love you. Not all family is blood, right? And for those blood families that love you unconditionally and support you and uplift you, you go with that and remember that. Leave the rest. But there's something good happening here for y'all, fire signs. There's something good happening here for y'all. You're rising above it. You're being celebrated. There's a victory here. There's some kind of success. So your final outcome was the Page of Cups, the Tower, and the World. And that got me even more excited. Because when I saw the Page of Cups, the Tower, and the World, hello. Y'all breaking generational curses, healing the inner child. You're all doing things different. With this Page of Cups, you know, it made me think there's a message coming that's going to make y'all feel really happy. So I don't know if this is a new job, a new career opportunity, you know, your work is being recognized. Somebody's, so, you know, your support system is supporting you. For some of you, it might be a child that's coming in, because oftentimes children come into our lives. They teach us. We don't teach them. They teach us. So I don't know if it's a child that's made you look at how you were raised, and now you're like, no, I can't do this to my own child. I won't repeat the same generational curses. I won't repeat the same parenting style, that my parents or guardians did for me. You know, maybe you see how you react in certain situations, and you don't want your children to see you doing that. You don't want the cycles to be repeated. So maybe for some of you, it's a child that's brought this the need to heal the inner child to the surface for you, right? Or something new, someone new, but it's causing a whole breakdown to happen, and you know, cycles spiraling upwards from a cycle, coming out of going around in circles and spiraling up, you know, closing off a phase or a cycle in your life. This also made me think about a child, a baby, because the World card always makes me think about a womb and a child inside, you know, attached to an umbilical cord. Leo's energy is on this card as well, because all the fixed signs are on each corner of the card. You see all the fire in the Tower as well. So fire can consume and fire can cleanse. Fire can bring new regenerative energies. It's like whatever this is going to create a scenario where you can't help but look at how your inner child, you can't help but look at, you know, where you feel stuck, what triggers you. And that's not a bad thing, because it's allowing you to expand. All right. For some of you, maybe this is going to allow you to travel, to allow you some sense of freedom. Wherever you felt stuck, you're now uprooting yourself and traveling, or moving, traveling, freeing yourself in some way. So that's what I see. And right now, this is the first time, so I'm excited because I didn't look at the bottom of the deck before. The Temperance card is here at the bottom. Sagittarius energy, spiritual expansion, knowledge, power. Jupiter just went into Pisces. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So it's this we going back and we connect into our spiritual side, which is us. We are spirit, so we can't detach from spirituality. It is us, right? But we're finding more holistic, more uplifting ways of healing and dealing with things. So here's the balance, Temperance here, the balance. After death comes Temperance. So Temperance then asks you, okay, so this has happened, right? The Tower moment's happened. A death of sorts has happened. What are you going to do with that now? How are you going to move forward from that? Right? You can pick up the pieces that you need, that will take you further, and leave what doesn't. Right? And move forward, balanced. You're going to spin lead into gold. All right, so that's what I'm seeing for y'all, for y'all's inner child. I hope these messages support you. It wasn't as painful to go over it as I imagine. I hate doing things off. I hate doing it. But here we are. So if this resonates, give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment. Let me know if y'all like this reading, if it makes sense, how y'all feel about this. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for all the love. Fire signs, until next video, much love to you. Bye.